Every single great power in recorded history followed the exact same seven-stage life cycle before it died. Not most of them, not almost all of them, every single one. There are no exceptions, and according to historians, cycle theorists, and even classified Pentagon reports, we have just crossed the invisible line into Stage 6. Hi, this is Decoding Reality. Today we are not debating whether collapse is coming. We are mapping exactly where we are on the countdown, using the same pattern that destroyed Rome, Spain, the Ottoman Empire, and the British Empire. These 7 stages were first laid out in 1976 by Sir John Glubb in his short but devastating essay The Fate of Empires, and in the half-century since, the pattern has never once been wrong. Let's walk through them, one by one. Stage 1 is the Age of Pioneers. A small, tough, hungry band of outsiders overthrows a rotting older order through raw courage, sacrifice, and ingenuity. Money is scarce, life is hard, and everyone is united by a shared mission. Complacency is impossible because everyone knows they can still lose everything tomorrow. This stage usually lasts about 1 generation. Stage 2 is the Age of Conquest. The new power explodes outward. Armies sweep across continents faster than anyone thought possible. Wealth begins pouring in from conquered territory. Professional soldiers replace citizen militias. The culture still celebrates bravery and heroism, but the first cracks appear. Men now fight for pay and glory rather than pure survival. Stage 3 is the Age of Commerce, the golden age everyone remembers later with nostalgia. Conquest slows down and trade takes over as the main engine of wealth. Cities swell with merchants, artists, scientists, and inventors. Living standards skyrocket. This is the Pax Romana, the Dutch Golden Age, the Belle Époque, the American century. Creativity reaches its absolute peak. But underneath the splendor, a new class of super-rich merchants begins to rival the military and the priesthood in real power. Stage 4 is the Age of Affluence. The average citizen is now richer than 99% of all humans who ever lived. Hard work becomes optional for large parts of society. Luxury, entertainment, and spectacle replace duty and religion as the center of life. Defense spending starts to feel like a waste of money because major war seems unthinkable. The empire begins outsourcing its fighting to mercenaries or poorer client states. Bread and circuses evolve into endless streaming services and sports stadiums the size of ancient cities. Stage 5 is the Age of Intellect. We become convinced that we can think and debate our way out of any problem. Universities and think tanks multiply. Endless panels argue about identity, justice, and language, while roads, bridges, and power grids quietly decay. Lawsuits explode, welfare states balloon to levels previous generations would have called insane, and the currency begins its long, fatal debasement to keep the party going just a little longer. Stage 6 is the Age of Decadence. This is the stage no empire in history has ever recovered from without a massive external shock. The symptoms are unmistakable: mass immigration without assimilation, an explosion of debt and money printing, elites who openly live by different rules, a military more concerned with inclusion quotas than winning wars, birth rates in free fall, entertainment that grows ever more grotesque and hypersexualized, and a population split between hedonists who no longer believe in anything and a growing underclass that feels permanently cheated. Sir John Glubb wrote in 1976 that decadence is a moral and spiritual disease, not just an economic one. Look around. We are textbook Stage 6. Stage 7 is collapse and disintegration. The center can no longer hold. Provinces declare independence or simply get conquered by outsiders. The currency becomes worthless overnight. Cities empty. Warlords rise. The average duration of Stage 7 is 10 to 20 years, followed by 2 or 3 centuries of dark age until the next band of pioneers shows up to start the cycle again. That is the fate of every empire that has ever existed. until now. We are the first civilization in history that possesses one variable no previous empire ever had, a viable off-world escape pod. If we become a multiplanetary species before Stage 7 finishes its work, the cycle is broken forever. The Great Filter is defeated. Humanity graduates from being just another dead empire on a single fragile rock to something immortal. That is why the billionaires are not crazy. They are running the math. The window is measured in decades, not centuries. Miss it, and we join Babylon, Rome, and every other lost civilization in the graveyard of history. Make it, and we become the first species in the cosmos that we know of to escape its own cradle before the cradle collapses. If this video shook you even a little, do 3 things right now. Hit subscribe, because we only make videos when the data says the clock is ticking louder. Turn on the bell, because YouTube is burying this kind of content harder every month. And in the comments, type the single word Stage 6 if you now see the pattern everywhere you look. Next week, we reveal the exact year the dollar dies according to the same 4,000-year cycle. This is Decoding Reality. See you in the next one, hopefully from a different planet.